Well, today's a new day. Yesterday I did not do any work on the bus because, sorry, something on my phone screen, because I had a gig in Atlanta. So I drove 2.5 hours there. I was there for like 5 hours, another 2.5 hours back. It was a long day and I was really tired. When I got back, I just kind of collapsed onto my bed and lay there for a second looking up stuff about building the bus, so that at least I was doing something and related to the bus and not just like throwing the whole day away. However, you know, I do get paid for that video gig in like 30 days or so. So getting more money to help fund this build is never a bad thing. And I don't want to go into more details on it in case someone with bad intentions is watching this and somehow found this video. But there is a kill switch in this vehicle and I'm working on wiring that up right now. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and continue cutting some panels. So probably that panel maybe. Also, I want to do the ceiling. I went ahead and bought some really nice antique white stain, and it looks really good. Kind of matches the color of the wool, sort of. And it'll match some of the wallpaper that I have coming in for the bathroom. Okay, now we have one more panel in place over here. Now, instead of doing the lights like over here, where we have one here and then one down there, you know, I guess I could do, you know, one about there and then another here, but the space is going to be off. But also, this area is going to be a dining area, so the spot is probably going to go over here. Also, when I was at the store where everything is $1, found these really cool socks. I figured it was kind of fitting clothes jokes. Stop working by myself. I have to come up with some pretty unique ideas to have an extra set of hands. If you do decide to do what I did and use your head to kind of hold up the panels as you're putting them in, I would suggest starting with the middle, because this one was the first one I did. I did not start in the middle. You see how it's bowing. So I'm having more issues with bowing, and actually part of this one stems from, you'll probably see it down here, this gap. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see doing this in reverse. This gap right here. But what I think I can do is I can probably do something that's mostly cosmetic to fix this. Maybe like overlay something. We'll see. I mean, I don't want to get too fancy. I just want to get this built right now. And I'm having trouble getting the ends of these planks to kind of line up since they're not grabbing onto anything. So what I did was I went ahead and cut a strip of wood and then cut little grooves in it so that I can bend this as much as I need to, and it's still kind of holding on. So as long as it doesn't completely break, as it kind of did sort of over there, it should help hold the shape, and it should be sufficient. Worst case scenario, we'll end up putting some trim that kind of goes along and holds everything in place. My apologies for the low light. It's getting dark, and I'm still waiting on the switch that goes here to come in. It should be tomorrow. I'm currently measuring out the bathroom, and this is very approximated. In fact, that door is supposed to be even. But it looks like we're gonna have to go ahead and take out some of the ceiling because the bathroom is going to interfere with it just ever so slightly. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and write numbers on here. So this is gonna be number 1, 2, and 3, so that I know what order they're in and where to put them back in. How do I know which one goes first? Well, I'm taking this video, so I know this one's first. I've run into a very frustrating scenario as I sit here on the porta potty, not using it, just sitting on it. Let me show you. So, I went through all the trouble of making sure this beam is centered, and if we continue to build the door, it is actually going to run into part of the fan, and that's incredibly frustrating. Recut this wood, cut it a little shorter, and just make the walls a little narrower, which is fine. Again, there's plenty of arm room. That's a live look at my thinking process instead of having these jumping around bits. If I don't edit this too much, then you'll see the whole process. It's also worth noting here that the toilet can be moved So it isn't necessarily stuck right there in that corner like that. It could be facing the other way, like going like that. It could be right up against the door if that's really what you want. It could be it could be this way, facing that way. But it can move around, so it's not the biggest deal to have to reframe. Okay, moment of truth here. Oh, nice. I don't think this will interfere at all. We should be okay.